Serbia is loved by its visitors due to the great smile and huge heart of its citizens, stunning nature, beautiful cities, gourmet food, and unforgettable entertainment. Serbs love Serbia due to the sense of pride that belonging to one nation gives them, due to its famous history and the belief that the whole world will one day realize all we Serbs deserve is a lot more love and understanding. This is a story of us, our country, since ancient times to the modern. World War II was to become the largest war conflict of all time, during which more than 50 million people were killed, approximately 1 million of those in Yugoslavia. Out of all the wars throughout history, this one was unique due to the concentration camps and extermination of entire nations. At the beginning of the war in the divided Yugoslavia, on the territory of self-proclaimed independent state of Croatia, the regime of the Ustashi were executed in genocide over Serbs, Jews and Gypsies. At the same time in Serbia, the first European resistance against the fascist state was formed by the Chetniks leader Draža Mihailović. A little afterwards, the communist partisans led by Josip Broz Tito also called for an uprising. The Chetniks and partisans collaborated at the beginning of the war, but due to differing ideals, a civil war started, a war characterized by the suffering of all Serbian people. The movement of the Serbian Chetniks Ravna Gora was accepted by the Allies and the government in exile, but later on General Draža was accused of passive resistance of the occupiers and a never-proven collaboration with the Germans by communist propaganda. After a fabricated court process held by communists against him post-war, the general was executed in July in 1946, with his burial place even nowadays left unknown. His honor was later reinstated in May this year in Serbia by a court rehabilitation process, with his name and war efforts liberated of the collaboration claims. In 1987, the US Congress put forward a bill to erect a statue of Draža Mihailović in Washington in recognition of the 500 American pilots the general saved during the Second World War. But unfortunately it didn't pass due to pressure from Yugoslavia. Moreover, he was awarded the Legion of Merit Award by the American President Harry Truman posthumously for his outstanding services in World War II, the highest military award that can be given to a non-American. The largest concentration camp within the territory of ex-Yugoslavia was located in Jasenovac, Croatia, on the coast of the Sava River, discovered soon after the war. It had been confirmed that approximately 700,000 civilians were executed, amongst them up to 20,000 children, simply because they were Serbs, Jews or Gypsies. Each year on the 25th of April, Australia celebrates Anzac Day, its own national day of remembrance of the Allied heroes from Gallipoli up to the modern. The fact that from all the nations of ex-Yugoslavia, only the Serbs are permitted could be constituted acknowledgement that the Serbian nation is not a nation of conquerors and genocide. The international public has been unduly put in sense of historical fault purely on the Serbs for the fall of Yugoslavia and the bloodshed that's followed. The wars led in the last decade of the 20th century and the fall in Yugoslavia is a fact that concerns all of the nations of Yugoslavia. All in all, their historical situations are different and should be studied as such. Today in the world, the fact that it is accepted more and more is that one nation cannot be entirely blamed for the entire Balkan War within the regions of the fallen countries of Yugoslavia. Guilty are the individuals that have been proven as executors of crimes and therefore need to be punished regardless of their nationality. The ethnic cleansing that occurred during the 1990s should not be forgotten, where approximately 450,000 Serbs were also executed. However, in 1999, because of world accusations that Serbian forces were executing ethnic cleansing of the Albanians in Kosovo, Serbia once again was accused of being the guilty party alone. Without an approval of the Security Council, on the 24th of March that year, NATO commenced airstrikes against Serbia that lasted for 78 days. During the bombings, infrastructure, agricultural objects, cultural monuments, churches, media centers, and monasteries were all heavily damaged. The damage sustained has been estimated from $30 up to $100 million. The final number of casualties never officially announced, but according to Serbian estimates, could be between 1,200 and 2,500 killed and more than 5,000 injured. The southern Serbian province of Kosovo has been under protection of the United Nations for the past 16 years. During that period, more than 300,000 people have been expelled from Kosovo and Metohija, and more than 140 Serbian Orthodox churches and monasteries have been demolished. 15 of them were listed as World Heritage Sites. The Serbian nation does not stop sending messages to all that Kosovo and Metohija is a Serbian, and losing a battle in Kosovo will never be the same as losing Kosovo and Metohija as a territory. Times come and go, but our faith is strong. Serbia is a small country, but throughout centuries past it has given birth to a number of great world scientists and scholars. Nikola Tesla was the greatest Serbian genius of all. If I'm lucky enough to accomplish some of my hopes, it will be beneficial for the whole of humanity. If those hopes become reality, the sweetest thought that I will have in my mind is that all was accomplished by one Serb. These were his words. He knew that he would not be understood by his contemporaries, but one day the laws of nature and secrets he discovered would prevail. Albert Einstein, when asked how it felt to be the smartest man alive, was quoted as saying, "I don't know, you'll have to ask Nikola Tesla." He died on Orthodox Christmas 1943, poor and in debt in a hotel in New York. The mayor of New York farewelled him with the following words, "An inventor has left us, his work will become even greater in time to come." In the pockets of the scientists who left more than 750 protected patents and innovations was only $14. Numerous patents of the Serbian scientist and patriot Mihailo Pupin, who was one of the 400 most influential citizens of America in his time, even nowadays are utilized in the areas of electronics and telecommunications. His most renowned invention was greatly extending the range of long-distance telephone communication by way of loading coils, for which he won the greatest American acknowledgement for inventors, Edison's Golden Medal. He was also a founding member of the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, which today is known as NASA. Milutin Milankovic was a world-known geophysicist, climatologist, astronomer, and founder of the Department of Celestial Mechanics at the University of Belgrade. His reforms of the Gregorian and Julian calendar were accepted in Carigrad in 1923. Moreover, he had created the most precise calendar to date. Not until the development of the quartz and atomic clocks, his theory that the period of the Earth's rotation was inconsistent was proven and ultimately quantified. Mihailo Petrovich Alas and Mileva Maric Einstein were world-famous mathematicians applying their knowledge in areas of technology and innovations. In all cases, scientists with a Serbian background and heritage never forgot their roots. The untouched beauties of Serbia are truly pearls for admirers of nature. Serbia offers many challenges with its high mountain ranges, spacious plains, forest expanses, and stunning caves. It is an ideal place for people with an adventurous spirit. Some plants and animal species that have already vanished from the rest of Europe still survive in the dense forests and rich hills of Serbia. Kopaonik, with 1,500 different types of plants, is the roof of Serbia, but is also the most famous Serbian ski resort. Vrnjačka Banja is the queen of continental tourism, and during the 30s had double the amount of tourists from Dubrovnik. The national parks Tara, Fruška Gora and Đerdap each year attract larger numbers of tourists flocking to the Serbian mineral springs, which are well known across the whole of Europe. It's no wonder that Robert De Niro throughout his travels in Serbia fell in love with the Serbian nation and gave his daughter the name Drina, which is a wonderful river streaming through the heart of Serbia. In Serbia, sport is of great significance. Moreover, people identify themselves with the successes of the athletes and their victories. The most popular sports in Serbia are soccer, water polo, volleyball, handball, athletics, and in the past few years, tennis. As successors of the State Alliance of Serbia and Montenegro, the basketball team of Serbia won 2 gold medals on the World Championships in 1998 and 2002, as well as a silver medal in 2014. The male basketball team won silver medal at the 1996 Olympics. This year, the female basketball team won the European gold medal. Dražen Dalipagic, Dragan Kacanovic, Vlada Divac, Alexander Đorđević, Predrag Danilovic, Predrag Stojakovic, and Miloš Teodosic have been declared the best players in Europe on many occasions. Traditionally, best Serbian football teams are Red Star and Partizan, and the games between these two clubs are called an eternal derby. The greatest success of club football in Serbia occurred in 1991 when Red Star won the UEFA Champions Cup and the Intercontinental Cup. This year in the World Championships in New Zealand, Serbia became the under-20s world champions, defeating Brazil. Serbia's male volleyball team won gold at the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, bronze at the Olympics in 1996, and silver at the 1998 World Championships. Water polo is one of the most prized sports in Serbia of all. The senior men's team have won the World Championships 4 times, and the water polo players of Partizan have been European club champions 7 times. This year, they became world champions again. The male tennis team won the Davis Cup in 2010 and in 2013 were runners-up. On the other hand, the female team got in the finals of the Federation Cup in 2012. Most successful female tennis players of Serbia are Ana Ivanovic and Jelena Jankovic. Both of them were first on the world ATP rankings list and have won 28 titles in singles competition between them. The most successful Serbian male tennis player in the world, number 1, is Novak Djokovic, who's won 11 Grand Slam tournaments. He holds the record for 5 trophies won at the Australian Open alone. Djokovic has more than 40 individual titles and is the only Serbian sportsman that's been declared the best athlete in the world. Other great male players include Viktor Trojski, Janko Tipsarevic, Nenad Zemanovic, and the up-and-coming Dusan Lajovic. It is said that each memory is like a shoulder that slips each time you try to support yourself on it. Serbia is a shoulder on which each one of us can count. That is why the love and memories of this country are so beautiful.